Winners of the 2025 NBA Draft, Dallas Mavericks landing Cooper Flag with the first pick, seen as a generational talent with two-way skills, one of the most hyped prospects in recent times. Not only does Cooper have the chance at becoming one of the faces of the league, the kid at 6'9" has role player intangibles. Even if he's not a true first option on a championship team, at the very least, a good number 2 or 3 on a contender can do Derek White type stuff, but he's 5 inches taller, already a better defensive player than over 90% of guys under the age of 23. Dallas fans slowly moving on from the Luka era. Too bad Nico Harrison still has a job. The franchise looked to be in shambles months ago, slowly buzzing with excitement, and for good reason. This pick could reshape the franchise for the next decade, with the 18-year-old having established championship vets. Kyrie Irving just signed 3 years, $139. Anthony Davis still on the squad. Flag will be playing meaningful basketball against the best of the West. The clear-cut best prospect, no-brainer, absolutely consensus. Another winner, American white players putting on a resurgence. Back from The Walking Dead after seeing Chet Holmgren win an NBA title as the number 2 pick 3 years ago, to Cooper Flag becoming the first white US born player to be picked number 1 since 1977, Ken Benson. The league was in shambles throughout these past several years, especially with the Europeans taking over. It was Kevin Love and Gordon Hayward keeping the American white players afloat. Many four-year college guys became instant disappointments throughout the 90s and 2000s. The Keith Van Horns, Mike Dunleavys, and Adam Morrisons of the world either became just decent rotational players or below average. Many thought the days of Bob Cousy, Jerry West, John Havlicek, and Rick Barry were gone forever, but the Caucasian Americans making a statement with Flag's Duke teammate Con Knippel picked 4th overall in the draft. Will Cooper finally be the one to change the negative perception of white American players going forward? Of course, Duke basketball, massive winners, 3 Blue Devils, top 10 in the draft. Many big time programs haven't even had 3 kids go total in the top 10. Malawach going 10 to Phoenix. This Duke team, one of the best squads to never win the national title. 5 of their starters getting selected. Only the 3rd time it's ever happened. The program also had Zion RJ and Cam Reddish each go top 10. Head coach John Shire living up to the hype, being Coach K's replacement. Since joining the coaching staff, Duke projected 35 draft picks, including 26 first rounders. The Blue Devils have boasted at least 1 first round selection 14 of the last 15 drafts. Winner VJ Edgecombe picked dirt for Philly, a high ceiling work ethic, has similar mentality to Therese Maxey, a workhorse. The 19-year-old came from humble beginnings, plays defense like his life depends on it, hates to see other people score, the type of player who will hold his teammates accountable. Once he establishes himself in the league, will do all the dirty work. The absolute right pick for Daryl Morey Sixers. Yes, they could have went with the guy having the highest ceiling, but given the bad luck franchise faced throughout many lottery picks, this team missing a real culture, Edgecombe, the perfect young rookie to add that recipe. Winner, the San Antonio Spurs. Dylan Harper, the 2nd pick of the draft, crafty big 6'6" guard, would have been in considerations for number 1 in many drafts, and landing 3-and-D athletic Carter Bryant, 14th overall, establishing the blueprint building around Wemby. Harper himself super explosive, can break down defenses on his own, went from playing with non-pros, future 9-to-5 workers, Rutgers teammates, to Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. If Wemby stays healthy, Dylan a chance at making the playoffs as a rookie, the best position any top 5 pick can end up. San Antonio absolutely loaded. Many thought these Spurs would have to trade for Bryant. Perfect 3-and-D player, low usage, the type of guy who will do all the dirty work. Franchise already having many ball handlers, the defense will stand out. Him and Wembanyama together, a deadly defensive duo at 6'7". San Antonio on verge becoming one of the most athletic teams. This organization, a master at getting the right guys time and time again. Winner, the Atlanta Hawks, feasting on the crappy Pelicans, all the Trae Young rumors throughout the years. Now watch him never leave the ATL. Took advantage of Boston's luxury tax situation, coming away with high risk, high reward Kristaps Porzingis. The best stretch 5 Trae Young's ever had. Getting rid of George Niang, not a big deal. Moving down 10 spots for an unprotected 2026 first. Even got their own guy landing Asen Newell. New GM only been on the job for 2 weeks, looking extremely competent. Winner, the Chicago Bulls taking 6'10 forward Noah Essengay. An athletic burst with rim finishing touches, which gives him a high ceiling and more reasons for the team to move on from the awful Patrick Williams. Essengay, the type of athlete to perfectly run with Josh Giddey. Chicago might even have some success next playoffs given how bad the East is. At 6'10 with a 7'1 wingspan, has many similar tools to a young Pascal Siakam. Winner, the champion Oklahoma City Thunder. Georgetown's Thomas Sorber, 15 overall, the perfect Isaiah Hartenstein replacement as the future starting center to avoid the second apron. Sam Presti playing chess, not checkers, understanding the impacts of today's NBA rules and restrictions, having very similar qualities to Al Horford and Bam Adebayo at 6'10. Hartenstein steal as a team option for 2027 makes perfect long-term sense. The type of guy OKC loves to draft, high character, calm, will be on the bench most of next season. Team continues to be filled with depth, which makes them super difficult to beat in a 7-game series. Him and Nikola Toppin, the next man up, will have all the time in the world to recover from foot injury. The Thunder making small preps in preparation for the next NBA dynasty. Winners for now, the Utah Jazz. Danny Ainge took the best player possible, Ace Bailey, when the kid refused to work out for many teams, including Utah. You don't get to control your own destiny in the NBA, especially if you haven't played a minute. A huge wing for the fences after striking out badly in the lottery. If Bailey doesn't work out, he'll be a good trade piece, forced to accept the reality of the NBA. Mr. Ainge always bold with his decisions. They also traded for Walter Clayton Jr., number 18 Wizard selection, a proven winner in college for the champs, the most exciting standout in the NCAA tournament, 22 years old, even older than any of Utah's last 6 draft picks. Winner, the Phoenix Suns having interior presence, 7'2 stud from Duke. One of the youngest prospects with huge upside, should be a great pick and roll partner for D-Book, but the franchise also trading for Mark Williams. They have an obsession with Charlotte's bigs. Winner, professional website LinkedIn, Derek Queen updating his profile. Winners, the Charlotte Hornets, drafting well-behaved guys looking to eliminate the bad rap as the modern-day Jailblazers, finally building a respectable culture. Khan will be one of the key guys on the team, will get tons of opportunities given LaMelo's always hurt. 29 pick, Liam McNeely, one and done out of UConn, sharpshooter, can light it up, and the mature 7'1 Ryan Cockburner out of Creighton, the Mark Williams replacement, snatched up one of the Dukies. It's not about getting the most talented players for this franchise, but establishing the right foundation going forward. Slight winners, the Los Angeles Lakers, moving from the 55th pick to 45th, then 36, landing a Duke Firo out of Arkansas, gave away some cash. Great defensive player, looking to be the Jared Vanderbilt replacement at 6'8". Rob Pelinka continues to show he's actually trying. Winner, Miami Heat selecting Kasparis Jakijonas, falling all the way to 20. Some had him go top 10. Good playmaker and ball handler, excellent on the pick and roll, played a year at Illinois. He coacher has the chance to help get the best of him early. Winners, the Aussies, 4 Australians drafted in the league, first time since 1997, second round picks. Losers, the New Orleans Pelicans, the disgusting, atrocious franchise hired Joe Dumars as GM, his first front office job since 2014, giving away their 2026 first rounder to move up to the 13th spot, landing Derek Queen, a poor defender, nickname jokes, already having thousands giggle, seeing Zion enjoying some Dairy Queen. The franchise absolutely no hope in the West. Only to be disappointed, his teammate's name's Derek. Zion drafted 6 years ago, still hasn't played a single playoff game. They traded CJ for the inferior Jordan Poole, whose Wizards won 18 and 15 games his last 2 seasons, now having multiple starters coming from injury. Landed Jeremiah Fierce and Queen, could become good players, but what are they looking to do building short term? What if Zion gets hurt again? That 2026 pick becomes top 5. They already got fleed by Atlanta, giving away Dyson Daniels, both Dumars and Troy Weaver after their stints in Detroit, an absolute malpractice of an epic travesty. Good luck with 24-year-old Hunter Dickinson. Loser, the Brooklyn Nets. 5 first-round picks, so what? They still rebuilding. D'Angelo Russell, Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton still on the roster? Pick Yegor Demon, a bad outside shooter at 6'9", but good playmaking skills out of BYU. Many had him going mid to late first, a huge wing for the irrelevant franchise, setting a record for most first-round picks. Good headline to stare at, but too much inexperience with player development can create chaos. Team don't even have a franchise player at this moment, taking 3 point guards with its 5 picks, an absolute overlap. Team will have to figure out long term, still have no identity. Losers, fan listening to the telecast, the obnoxious shouting of Stephen A. Smith screaming every 2 seconds, the entire Wednesday telecast, an absolute travesty of a nightmare. For someone who knows absolutely nothing about the players, pathetic how the network screws up one of the biggest events of the year. There's no reason to believe they won't screw up inside the NBA for next season. Repeats the same vocal tones, provides zero insight. It's absolutely shameful. The network refused to have more qualified candidates to analyze the draft. Realistically, how many college games Stephen A. watched outside the NCAA tournament? For a guy to be playing games on his phone while he's supposed to cover the NBA Finals, to getting the entire spotlight, every sports fans can agree their experience consuming the product would be better off without listening to Stephen A. Loser, the Portland Trailblazers traded their 11 pick Cedric Howard, 16 pick Jan Hansen, 7-1 big from China. Team already got DeAndre Ayton, and last season's lottery center Donovan Clinton. 1/3 of Portland's players are now centers. This franchise has had a serious long streak of bad luck cursed bigs, from the Bill Walton days to Greg Oden. Loser, Ace Bailey for now, not getting his wish, already has a reputation of rubbing many the wrong way. His talent's undeniable, but can he truly become a team player? Maybe he ends up becoming the franchise guy. Danny Ainge would continue taking him 10 out of 10 times, even if he continues voicing his displeasure. Kid has his work cut out for him. Loser, the Denver Nuggets, absolute travesty, not controlling any picks of the draft. Team has zero depth, continues to take Jokic greatness for granted. 0 2025 draft picks, how is that possible? Calvin Booth wrecked the franchise, he should never get a GM job. Poor ownership, absolutely shameful. Loser, the stupid idea, players had to wear team hats in the beginning when it was already announced they were traded to a different team before getting selected. The league needs to do a better job getting more backup hats if that's the case. Loser, night 2 of the draft, does it really have to be 2 days? Thankfully no Stephen A that time, lots of fans missed out. Loser, Masai Ujiri, Toronto Raptors getting ousted. He's been very bad after Kawhi Leonard led the franchise to a title. Losers, notable undrafted guys, Alabama's Mark Sears, electrifying scoring point guard who gets buckets, Grant Nelson, Ryan Nembhard out of Gonzaga, brother of Andrew Nembhard, Caleb Love, stud from Arizona, RJ Lewis of St. John's, deciding to leave after junior year, going pro after a disastrous second round game. Many recommended he stay in college, not selected.